Here.
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo. Digital media. Come on!
I'm a hippo.
Broadcast Hippo Digital Media. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the show. The show. Look at that. I'm A to Z. We got Chris Tiefel right there in the center square. Donnie P over on the right. Hi, Donnie.
Good morning.
So I got to tell you guys, first off, I don't think that there should be some vetting process into whether you can have kids or not. And I don't think that I qualify to be able to raise children.
We could have told you that already.
I know. Well, I'm going to give you a perfect example. Yesterday, I was watching Josie all day yesterday, and I was doing some work on
Poor girl.
I was doing some work on the computer, and wasn't totally paying attention. And she came up and said something to me, but I was very engrossed in what I was doing, and so it turns out it was important. So later on, Colleen comes in. And she says, did you know that Josie pooped her pants? And I'm like, that's what she said. And but here's what else she said. In my head, she said, I cleaned it up, Daddy, even my pants. So in my head, I was like, okay, she cleaned it up. So I just kept going.
So
but
it's toddler?
What's that?
You trusted the toddler?
Yes.
Problem initiated, problem solved.
She's got that handled. It takes a half hour to get her to pick up her toys, but she had that poop situation dead.
It's different. It's different when it's in your pants.
Right. Well, but in my head, I'm like, okay, she took care of it. Whatever it was, she took care of it, and I just kept going. And apparently, she didn't have it taken care of, and there was poop all over the floor. Go ahead, Donnie.
How long in between that was when Colleen asked you if you knew about it?
Hours, I think. A couple hours.
I know. It sounds like, if it was on the floor, it sounds like she did take care of it. At least she got her pants changed.
Yeah, I know. I think. I don't even know. Like I had left at the time. I had to go to run a couple errands. So Connie called me and said, hey, when you're watching Josie, did she say she went and pooped in her pants? I'm like, yeah, you know what? I think she did.
Yeah, she might have mentioned it in passing.
I know. Exactly. So anyway, but problem averted, and I should not be watching the children anymore. It's not my strength.
Well, I could have told you shouldn't be watching the children after seeing how you leave the car when you're done with it. I got to imagine it's about the same scenario.
What do you mean? What does that mean?
You leave the car on E. Yeah, all the stuff you do. I've been following the saga of Colleen's car on Facebook.
Right?
Yeah, I know. All right, so that's one thing. And Tiefel, I want to start with you in your war on Christmas. What is up with you and your war on
bro?
Christmas?
I don't have a war on Christmas.
You do too, because on November 1st, this is the first year that I've noticed on November 1st, everyone is like ready for Christmas. Like my ex has got her tree up yesterday. Everyone's doing Christmas music. November 1, everyone thought it was okay. And this is the first time I've ever seen this before. Go ahead, Donnie P.
Right. It's always been like a battle, but now I think the war has been won. It's now just an insurgency against Christmas. Like there's just a few pockets left of people that aren't ready to accept the truth.
No,
there is a whole. I don't have anything against Christmas. I love Christmas. It's a most wonderful time of the year, but it's the 12 days of Christmas, not the 55 days before Christmas. All right?
51, by the way, brother.
2 whole ass holidays between now and Christmas. There's Veterans Day, and you don't celebrate that. You're just not a patriot. And then there's Thanksgiving, which I would argue is slightly superior to Christmas because that is a fat man's holiday. All right.
Right. Well, okay. We're going to let you be right here real quick, Chris.
Go ahead, Don.
We're going to let you be right because when it comes to Christmas, we're not celebrating Christmas. We're celebrating the Christmas season, Chris.
Yeah, and the Christmas season starts
in
December.
There are multiple holidays. A lot of people have birthdays. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's weekends.
Let yourself be sucked in by capitalism that has tried to creep Christmas further and further into the year.
Here's Here's the problem.
Christmas starts on Black Friday. I will accept it on Black Friday.
The problem is this has been a slow boil for many years, and this year it's official. Christmas is won, and Thanksgiving is lost. It's just the way it is. And November 1 started the Christmas season. But here's the thing, and this is that Fox News war on Christmas stuff, where like, oh, people don't want to say Merry Christmas, want to say Happy Holidays. Donnie has kind of put his finger on it. It's the holiday season, which really starts on October 31st with Halloween. You got Halloween, and so the reason people don't say Merry Christmas is I want you to be happy on every holiday. I want you to be happy on New Year's. I want you to be happy on Christmas. I want you to be happy on Thanksgiving. I want you to be happy on Halloween. So it's the happy holidays covers it all. It doesn't mean that doesn't mean I don't think Merry Christmas is important. It means I want you to have a good time at all the holidays. That's the reason people say Happy Holidays over Merry Christmas anymore, except around Christmas, except for the week around Christmas time, then when that's the only holiday we're focusing on.
Well, yeah, there's no problem with saying Happy Holidays because there, you've got Christmas and you've got Hanukkah and off years you have other phased holidays. It's no problem saying Happy Holidays, and then when you're specifically talking about that one holiday, you say that one holiday. That's not the problem. The problem is freaking hearing Mariah Carey belt out Christmas music on freaking November 1st from almost every apartment in my building. All right, there is a whole other holiday that we are celebrating as a nation before Christmas.
Well, there's no Thanksgiving songs, Chris, or we'd be playing them too. If you get Mariah to write a song about Thanksgiving, I promise you, I'll play it on November 1st. I'll play it Halloween night when I get back from trick or treating. I promise you that.
Josh says, Chris Tiefel, War on Christmas coming to an IMAX theater to you. Something's gonna burn, and it's gonna be your popcorn. It's not gonna be your popcorn. Not gonna be your popcorn. Sorry.
He's my biggest fan.
Natasha says, yep, no Christmasing till after Thanksgiving. Brenda says, agree, it's too early for Christmas ads on TV. Okay.
I'm coming for these people.
And Chris,
here's what it is. Chris, the reason we start so early is because a lot of people are very, very busy, and the year flies by very, very fast. So
set yourself up a calendar reminder.
Pushing the holiday season up a mere 28 days or so, 25 days, slows down the year. It slows down time. It's a reminder to say, you know what? I don't care what you were doing the last 10 months. You got 2 months left to have some. Exactly. But we can slow it down.
We can't turn it down. We can't turn it back, but we can slow down time. So I got to say real quick hi to Alicia. Alicia came up to me at Cedar Point and said she loves us. She's always loved us. She went to the small town comedy show in I can't remember where she said. I think she said by Napoleon, maybe. I can't remember, but she said hello, and I said, we have the podcast, and she goes, I listen to podcasts all the time. So I want to say hi to Alicia. There isn't any time I've gone to Cedar Point this season where 5 or 10 people haven't come up to me and said that they listen to the show or recognize the show.
I got the same reaction at the prison, so I think we're good. We're crossing all the demographics here.
Speaking of Cedar Point, of course, the season has come to an end on the 31st.
Pour one out.
We were there. Pour a little out for the homie.
Hey, wait, hang on. Before you go on, I do want to do one shout out. All right, okay. Whoever the guy in Zimbabwe that's listening to us. All right, how you doing, buddy? And I want my money.
Or someone's listening on a VPN.
Well,
but who chooses Zimbabwe? It's their VPN.
For those that don't know what Chris is talking about, is last week we had we checked our downloads, and last week we had almost 1,500 from the United States, which is 87% of our listeners. We had, listen to this, from Germany, 208 downloads of the podcast from Germany. 208. We're huge in Germany.
We don't even spread the Deutsch.
I know we don't. Yeah, exactly. We don't. India, we had 2 downloads. Zimbabwe, we had 2 downloads.
Oh wait, it's up to 2?
Yes. Oh, was it just 1 yesterday when I shared it? Yeah. It's 2 downloads right now. I've got the live.
He got his friend in on it. Yeah.
This is so
how
good.
It works.
This is so good. You got to listen.
We're growing word of mouth in Zimbabwe.
Canada, we had one listener. Nigeria, we had one listener. That's that prince that's going to send me cash.
Yeah.
In Russia, we had one listener. So that's our listenership around.
I think right now we should downplay the Russian listener. Just right
Why?
now, just the way things are with American politics.
Hater,
just downplay that. Just downplay that a little bit.
No, we celebrate them all. I'm talking to you, Ivan. We support you. We appreciate your patronage.
For all you know, it's Natasha. Why you got to pigeonhole it? Oh,
and we lost him.
Oh, there he is. See, he got offended by you just generalizing the listener as possibly an Ivan on there. That's what it was. That's why you left. I don't even think he's hearing us right now. Let's do a test. You bald son of a bitch. Yeah, he's not hearing us right now, and he's gone again. All right, folks. Now, welcome to the Chris Tiefel Show. I'm in charge now. Donnie can't do anything about it.
Chris T. His name is Chris T.
Actually, no. I had some
news in the morning.
I actually had something happen to me this week. This weekend that you might be interested in. I decided that I was going to make my own potato chips, even though I had a perfectly good bag of Lay's on the shelf. And so, a couple things happened.
You're coming up on superpowers here, Chris.
What?
I know.
Hold on a minute.
One, don't mess with a mandolin. Those things are serious.
Ooh.
What the hell? Wait, I thought a mandolin was an instrument. What's a mandolin?
A mandolin slicer. It's where you're slicing the vegetable over the blade.
Oh,
and so I was making ruffled chips. So that's why it's all studded like that on my thumb.
You ruffle your finger. Your thumb has ridges, is what you're saying? Right now?
Exactly. To hold in the
thumb
flavor.
has ridges.
And so, but then I was using my Dutch oven, and I put the oil in it. I heated it up and everything. And
wait, what is a Dutch oven? I thought that was something you did under the covers. What is a Dutch oven?
Right.
Dutch oven is a cooking pot that is specifically for like soups and stocks and stews and all that stuff.
It's the saddest. It's the saddest example of Chris's singleness coming out is that he's never been able to do a Dutch oven.
But so I've Dutch ovened myself. I mean, who hasn't?
Sometimes that's what it comes to.
I know, it's so sad.
And so, but anyway, I heated up the oil, but when I put the chips in, when I put the potatoes in, it overflowed, and I ended up with a grease fire. And I have I had an old stove on there. It's actually, I looked it up. It's from the 60s there that I had. And I got it under control. Like I got it okay. In fact, I'm sharing the picture right now. I got it under control at the top of the stove.
Oh, damn.
And everything. But the problem is the stove plate here, the burner plate here, doesn't lift up for you to get under. So I've never been able to get under the burners and clean in there, even if I wanted to. So there's gunk down there that fueled the fire. So I got it out and then it restarted, but it was underneath the plate and not accessible through the burners. I couldn't get to it. And it kept going, and then it raged out through a burner. I got it out. And so basically I had to call the fire department, come out and put out my grease fire. Now, if you notice, there's some smoke damage, things like that around the walls here. Nothing else caught on fire. There's no structural damage, nothing like that. The fire department came out. Ironically, they put it out with water.
Really?
Exactly. They said, well, if you know what you're doing in small amounts, you're good. And I was like, I'm going to trust the professionals. That's what they do for a living.
Let me ask you, what did don't you, if you live in an apartment like you do, don't you have to let them know if you had a fire and had to call the fire department out, or do you not?
The story is continuing.
Oh, sorry.
So on there, so I had so the fire department came, they did their thing, they put it out, they confirmed that you could not open this top. Everything. They weren't impressed with the wiring on it. They didn't like the fact that the socket was on here, which I've never used. I've never understood why it's there. And so, but the stove is a total loss. So I called the apartment managements after hours and I left a message and I used the word fire, which turns out I didn't have to, because they also get an alert when the fire alarm in the building goes off, because there was a lot of smoke in the hallways. It went off. But apparently the maintenance guy showed up and knocked on my door, but apparently he did a dainty little knock. This little dainty little knock, and I couldn't hear him that he was there. I told him, I said, you need to adopt a cop knock. Just that that presence, let people know you're there.
Yeah, especially, well, there's got to be a 911 knock, and there's got to be just a hey, what's up? Knock. There's got to be knocks.
I can come back later if you want.
Right, there's that knock.
I took Monday off to deal with all this. Maintenance guy came, he took it out. Talked with my manager. She's going to wait for the fire department report on whether or not they're going to end up charging me. I don't think they are. And they can only charge me like the depreciated value of it. So really, honestly, I'm looking at like maybe $50 for the stove itself. And I get my new one today. But I also show you, was it this one? Yeah, I'll show you this one as well. If you want to share that, you can't even tell there was a fire anymore.
Oh wow!
On there, nice. I spent all day Monday dealing with the maintenance guy, helping him get the stove out, dealing with the management, and then cleaning. And so you can't even tell that there was a fire anymore on there. And I get my new stove today. But yeah, I decided, I'm going to burn this mother down.
Now, anyone that has a Dutch oven, I'm guessing that you'd want a nice upgraded. You've upgraded so much of your stuff. I guess you wanted to upgrade everything. Right. Could you pay extra to get an upgraded stove, or they're just going to give you the cheap ass stove they put in all the apartments?
Whatever it is they got, I don't get a choice.
I'm surprised you didn't ask them for an upgrade and you just paid the
right.
I mean,
that old one was cool looking.
The stove is from the 60s. All right, so the stove was already it was already itself like 60 years, 40, 60, or 50, 60 years old. So really, any stove that I get right now is going to be an upgrade, and that's a Dutch oven. In fact, that's the Dutch oven I have.
Oh, okay. So it's just a pot. Right. It's just a pot.
That's what I said.
Okay. I didn't know if there's some special about it or anything.
So we're trying to say it's the Dutch pot.
They come in. They're usually cast iron.
Yeah.
This one is cast iron and then enamel coated, so you don't have to worry about just the regular maintenance for cast iron.
Mm-hmm.
On there, my sister has a full on cast iron one.
Chris, Josh, I hope you're playing Nelly Hot in Here or Sean Paul Temperature while you're trying to burn the place down.
I was mostly embarrassed that I had to call the fire department.
Also,
come put it out.
Also, Amy wants to know how the chips were. How were the chips?
The chips, unfortunately, did not come to fruition.
Well, here's my request. I don't want you to give up on the chips, Chris.
No.
I'm going to be doing the chips again.
Chips, potato chips. You're like a superhero to me, Chris.
This isn't the first time I've made
barbecue.
Chips. Yeah, this isn't the first time I've done the chips. This is just the first time I've tried ruffled.
Aren't there things, Donnie P, that you see made like there? You feel in your head there's no way that you could make them, and then you realize that they're not that hard. But you're like, I would have never thought like chips. I thought were just magic. Like there's no way I can make. I can't.
Because even when you go to like a nice restaurant and they, when they make their own chips, they're like,
right.
These are good, but
they're not chips.
They made them, and they don't have the magic.
Yes, they don't have the Ruffles magic or the Pringles magic or just something different about them that you can't recreate it. A mere mortal can't recreate at home.
You guys definitely want me to do chips again? Then you guys can go ahead and donate for me to get that.
What is
little at-home deep fryer?
Oh,
on there.
We can do, Chris.
I refuse to get an air fryer for several reasons. One being my sister keeps trying to push it on me like she gets a portion of the sale. On there, and the other reason is it's not real frying. If it's not in lard, if it's not in oil, if it's not on that, it's not frying.
You do have some I don't know, they call it oppositional disorder, where if someone pushes something on you, you're automatically never going to do it.
Not true at all.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. You just said your sister's pushing it on you, so you're not going to get it for that reason.
No, that's part of the reason. The main reason, though, it's not real frying.
We'll stop. All right. Anyway, I'm not going to argue with you.
It's the same reason why I won't get an Instapot, because that's false advertising. It still takes time.
Anyway, back to Cedar Point real quick. I do have a couple things. We did stay.
Oh yeah, back to Cedar Point.
We did stay at the Breakers Hotel, which that's Donnie's fave.
Aren't they closed down for the season?
Yeah, we were there. Yeah, 31st was the last day, but we were there over the weekend.
Did you guys like wear all black and little veils and?
It was sad. It was sad, but we went the last day and had a good time. But in the rooms they have like old school pictures of Cedar Point's past, and they have these kids. There's a picture is in the room of these kids that were sitting in a barrel, because in the olden days, a barrel was they'd put the barrel in the water and you would float, and that was your ride. Like that was part of your ride in the old days, and it got me thinking. Is how
I was thinking they put you in the barrel and rolled you down the roller coaster.
Well, but
no, I think that's the Niagara Falls. That's how they do it at Niagara Falls.
it is. It's how horrible were kids' lives back in the 20s and 30s, wherever these things taken, where you had to travel to get into a barrel to get in the water and that was big fun. Like, oh my god, like they were telling their friends
experience.
Yes, they were. They were telling their friends at their one-room schoolhouse, "Oh my god, this weekend I'm going to Cedar Point, and we're going to get in a barrel. I can't wait!" Like, how far we?
When they get back, hey, did you ride the barrel? Oh yeah, I rode it like 6 times.
Yeah, exactly.
They even spun me a couple times.
I wish I would have took a picture of it, but in the old days, that's what was one of the rides. That was like the main ride was they'd sit you in a barrel and they'd sit it in the water, and then it would go off, I guess. And
like, were they making the water do waves? Like, what? How is this a ride? Or is this just like teacups?
I don't know. Look it up on. You're a good.
I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing on the ride too. So
really,
that would be interesting.
You haven't seen the pictures. I've seen
the picture. That barrel is. I'm sure it's not the same one, but it's still there. It's in Frontier Town, over by like the wax shop or whatever.
Yeah. I want to know, like the first rides, like that was one, and then that was like I'm telling you, that was a main ride. Chris is looking it up. He could tell me. Anyway, while he does the research on that, a couple of things I want to say is, I don't know if there's something wrong with it. I feel that there is, but I don't know what the problem is. Inside of the Breakers Hotel, there's a Starbucks, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you, every single tween and every single teen, everyone from the age of 10 to the age of 21, that whole age group right there, everyone had a Starbucks cup in their hand walking through the hotel at 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, every single one. The kids now drink coffee like on a daily basis, to where that wasn't the same. We're talking about olden days. That wasn't the same when I was growing up. Kids didn't drink coffee. There has to be some sort of health risk to this. The kids are now drinking coffee an extra decade or two.
When you say children, what age are you talking?
10, like I said, tween all the way till teen. From 10 till 19, there wasn't one person in the 10 to 19 age group, especially girls. Every girl had a Starbucks cup in their hand in the hotel, and I'm like, God, my kids included. Like they all five, they all went down to get. They had to have my mom took them down. They all had to have their Starbucks, and so mine were included. And I'm like, there has to be some sort of health risk to drinking coffee an extra 10 to 15 years on your life. When the old days, it would start at what? When you got to be an adult, you didn't drink coffee as a kid. Go ahead, Donnie.
Well, my kids go to Starbucks and they have the little cardboard mugs with a cap, but they don't get coffee. They get like it's just like a Frappuccino without the coffee. So it's basically just like frothy cream. So I'm sure that's not healthy either. It's just like sugary, frothy with some.
In fairness, when we were kids, Andrew, coffee was black tar, freaking strong as hell. Maybe you put a little cream in it, but now coffee is a lot different. And a lot more flavorful and a lot everything.
Thing.
It's a commodity that's traded on the stock market, for Christ's sake.
Right. You're right. I mean, I just wonder if there's some sort of health risk or if it's no big deal. Like, I don't know if I should worry about this. There's nothing.
The health risk is the added sugar and the possible extra caffeine.
Because I had always read that caffeine rewires your brain. Like, I've never drank coffee. I haven't, because I don't know why.
Don't start, because
I know I'm not.
But you drink soda.
I've read a lot. Yeah, I've read a lot about it, and it's like basically you can find a lot of negative articles and a lot of positive articles, and because I am a caffeine fiend, like I just gravitate towards the positive ones. But the whole time I'm still not sure if I believe, like, if I'm reading something that somebody wrote because they didn't want us to stop drinking coffee.
Right.
It's like
right.
It's like yeah, it's good for you. It's good for your heart. It's good for your brain. It's good for your focus. And then I'm like, it gets to like 8 p.m. and I'm just
It can be good for you, but as with all things, moderation. But also, I don't think 10-year-olds should be drinking it.
Yeah, I agree.
I think even younger too. But anyway, Brenda says I drank pop as a kid. I'm sure that wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you're gonna let your kid drink soda, there's really not much difference.
Natasha says, yes, Chris, I started drinking coffee at 14, but only because of flavored creamer. If not for French vanilla, I would never have drank coffee. So
that's how it starts.
That black tar crap, no one would have drank that.
Yeah, you try to drink your dad's coffee that he has in the morning, like he leaves it unattended, and you're 9 years old, and you're like, he drinks this every day. Let me try this out, and you get it, and it's like the strongest black sludge liquid that you have ever had in your small, tiny body in your life, and you just want to retch. And then that just turns you off from coffee forever. And then you become an adult, you're working 12-hour shifts, and you're like, you know what? I can deal with this. This is fine.
Well, that's how it happens. Sorry, Andrew. You start with the sweet stuff, the French vanilla, the hazelnut. You got sugar, you got your cream, and eventually it just all that stuff takes too long, and you're like, I just need it. I need my caffeine now. Give it to me black, and then it's too hot, and you're just drinking it as your mouth is burning. Like, I need it. I need it.
I know. Did you find, real quick before we move on, did you find the barrel ride?
I did not.
What?
I did not. I've in my cursory search, I could not find. I found a lot of vintage photos from Cedar Point, but not one specifically of the barrel ride.
Oh man,
I've never heard of it, but I would have to if I had to
we can all
bet money on it.
Though
it sounds like a ride that would be at early Cedar Point.
Like, how do they retrieve them? That's my other question. You're setting these kids adrift in a barrel. How are you retrieving them?
I feel like it's in a pond or something, and they just roll them around. Like, there's a river that runs through the middle of Cedar Point.
Yeah,
they just throw them in there.
But I mean, they have to retrieve them. They have to bring them back. I imagine the parents want to get their children back.
A rope. Put a rope on it.
Yeah, I think they pulled him in with a rope. I think that's what it was.
You just had a cowboy on the banks just going, yeah. Lassoing them in.
I'm looking right now too. I can't find. I wish I would have done that before, but anyway.
I think you made it up.
You tell us more about your stay at Breakers, though, other than Starbucks. Did you love it? Because isn't it? Because remember, that's like Andrew is somewhat responsible for my obsession with Cedar Point. I mean, I've always went my whole life, but we stayed at Breakers when we went with I think we were 105 or 100.7 at the time. I don't remember.
I can't remember when it was either, but I do remember we had a VIP weekend. We did the show from there. We got to talk to the people that worked on the rides. We got to walk in the employee entrance whenever we wanted.
Yes.
I still try to go through there. Power. Gotta be feeling bad. Like I gotta go use the restroom, but I'm not gonna use the plebeian customer restroom with the water everywhere. For some reason, I'm gonna go in the employee bath that they actually keep clean.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not
see like
commoners go.
Yeah, like once you see a time clock at Cedar Point, because they hide all that stuff from you.
Yes.
They're like, like Disney. It's the magic. They hide all that. But once you see one, you're like, oh yeah, I'm an insider now.
Yeah.
This is where they punch in.
And they would like walk. They were walking us on the rides, so we'd like go in the exits. They would walk us on. It was better than a fast pass. It almost ruined Cedar Point because I couldn't go as a commoner anymore for a while.
Well, you could do the parent swap and still get that.
When you get brought in front of the handicapped people, then that's when you've made it. Yeah, the handicapped people are the ones that get the first dibs on the seats, but when you get brought in front of them, that's when you know that you've made it. You are the king.
Here's the crazy thing, though, and this is it really isn't Cedar Point related, but it did happen at Cedar Point. And Donnie P is going to be the perfect one to talk about this for me, because when you grow up with somebody, you don't realize that they've how much they've changed. But if you so let's say there's a 10-year span, and you're with someone when they're 3, and then you don't see them again until they're like 13. You're like, whoa, you've grown so much. But if you're there the whole time when they went from 3 to 13, it's a lot more. It's a lot. The progress. Yeah, it's a lot more subtle. Thank you, Donnie. So I think that the kids that, like, I have 2 14-year-olds, a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 3-year-old, but I still think that they're all children. But then this weekend, it's Cedar Point kind of woke me up because there was this group of girls that walked by, and I was by myself at that point, and they're like, "Fuck that bitch!" But I'm like, "Whoa, whoa!" And they were like my kid's age, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, it was like a clutch the pearls moment. I'm like, "Oh Lord!" Like, whoa, what am I listening? Like my ears had never heard these words, but it was just they never heard them from kids this age. And I'm like,
You said that when you were a kid their age. I've heard your stories from when you were a kid.
I know, but then I start thinking back. I'm like, oh my god, at that age, I was having sex at their age. You know, it's like,
well, they're not. Well, here's the thing. I agree with you, and thank God our kids don't ruin it for us, because mine are the same. My oldest is 20, but my second oldest is 9, and so she's in that like tween range, and you know, she's daddy's little girl, and we like asked me for help with everything, and does it. You know, she's still my baby in my mind, but if I catch them talking amongst themselves and they don't think I can hear them, and they're like grown ass women, I'm like, oh shit, oh.
Like, have you heard your kids swear?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god! It's for me. It's jarring to even think about it. Like, I don't, but it shouldn't be.
But you're not supposed to see into that world, and for another 10 years. So just thank them for keeping you out of it.
I saw the kids' time clock at the time card puncher. You know?
Yes, you did.
I'm not supposed to be behind these scenes.
You're not supposed to see behind those. No,
they're still little girls. They're still little kids. What am I doing right now? And it's blowing my mind. And I'm thinking back. I'm like, oh my god, they're at the age of the stuff that I was doing at their age.
Right.
And I'm like, oh Jesus, are they doing that stuff and just not telling me? Are they hiding it? I don't even know. I don't want to know. I don't think. But then you're like, you're not the cool parent. Like, don't you want to know this stuff? You're like, I wanted you to be able to tell me all this stuff. I'm like, do I really want to know?
There's a difference.
I don't know.
You want your children to be able to come to you and talk to you about anything and feel comfortable doing so, but you also hope they don't.
Right? It was just really eye-opening experience, because like I said, I didn't want to see the time clock. I'm not ready to see the time clock, and then boom, it showed its face this weekend, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Boom.
Anyway. So thank you guys so much for listening. We do appreciate it. Make sure you tell a friend. Make sure you share the post. Make sure you comment like Josh and Natasha and Brenda all do. We love hearing your comments. So I don't watch Roseanne. I think I watched the first episode on the reboot, but first maybe 1 or 2 episodes I didn't watch it. You guys know Roseanne sent some tweets out, got fired from the show. They killed her off the show. Well, now Dan, her husband, I think that was only like a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever. It's only been back a couple of years. But Dan is now
on the air.
Yes, it's still Dan's remarried. It's Roseanne without Roseanne. Dan got remarried.
Well, it's the Connors now.
Okay, well, Dan got remarried, and I'm like, well, they were like together for decades, and then, like a year later, like the dude is remarried. And then, so it made me think.
That's not uncommon.
It made me think, like, let's say, Donnie, if you were, God forbid, to die, how long would it be okay for Ashley to wait? And how long in afterlife would you be like, too soon, babe, too soon?
Well, we have an agreement
that
if either one of us goes like too early, we're just gonna get taxidermied and put on the couch. So if she can get someone to stick around with that, then she deserves it.
Hey, wait. When you get taxidermied, will you be posable?
Oh
no, I'm just gonna be like,
this is one pose.
Like, because if you're posable, I'm coming over just to mess with you.
You can't pose. No, you.
Yeah, I'm sure the technology will be there at some point, but right now, if you get too posable, you might break an arm off, and then it's weird.
Yeah,
or then it'd be cool around Halloween though. But no, I don't know.
You can be like a life-size doll for the kids. You know, they can dress you up for the different holidays. They can.
You hope at least 6 weeks. I told Colleen I had this conversation once. The Donnie doll.
Some guy comes to pick one of your daughters up for their first date. We just pose you by the door with a shotgun.
Right?
You're like a Weekend at Bernie style.
Yes, for sure.
So Colleen and I had this conversation, and I told her, I said, babe, you don't have to worry about me. I would definitely 100% commit to you. I will wait 1 week before ever even thinking about having you replaced. I would at least wait a week for sure. So I've given her that guarantee that I would wait a week for sure.
All right. That's nice.
What, Donnie, how long do you think you would wait if, God forbid, something had happened to Ashley before you had to jump back in the water? Because you can't raise those kids by yourself. You got to get someone in there.
My heart would be so broken, Andrew. I don't know if I would ever be able to look upon another. But if I did.
But if you did.
He's winking, Ashley. He's winking.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Oh, man.
He's absolutely sincere on this. I can't. If something happened to his betrothed, he would not be able to do it. But if you had a month or two. Like I'm trying to think even what is too soon. Like if I because there are times on Facebook where you see that I'm like, oh, there you go. Well,
it's not uncommon. It's not uncommon for like a guy when he loses his wife and it becomes a widower that he takes a new wife within about a year or two. Like it's pretty quick, especially if he has kids.
Which is crazy because even if you've been together, you think about it, if you've been together 40, 50 years and then like 2 years later, you're with someone else.
He doesn't. A lot of it is they don't know how to be alone.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Gina says there's no moving on from you, Andrew. Colleen would make you get in that casket with her. You're done. She has said that for sure.
Big casket.
Shut up, Tifa. Yeah. So you're thinking at least 6 weeks, Donnie. Well, that's cool.
6 weeks.
That's a fair amount of time.
You got to keep it off of Facebook for at least 6 months. You're gonna get judged.
Right.
Keep it off of Facebook.
Official.
Yes, you can't. You got to give it way more than a year on Facebook before. I mean,
dude,
she has to be.
I imagine Donnie's going to have a lot of applicants. Like if Ashley were to go, Donnie would have a lot of applicants, like almost immediately lining up, all biding their time, wondering when's an appropriate time. When do we like? He'll have him helping him with his grief. They'll be bringing over the casseroles
they just start
and the whatnots.
Yeah, they just start bringing food over. That's what would happen.
That's how it starts, and then they bring up more often.
I would imagine. I don't know.
I don't know. You haven't thought about it, but
yeah.
All right. A couple things I want to get to, and then I know that Tival's got to get out at a hard 7:30. Ish. Okay. So Gwyneth Paltrow and Jada Pinkett Smith said something kind of interesting that porn is harmful to women. They said they were on Jada Pinkett Smith's show Red Table Talk, saying it's really messed up and that the women's pleasure doesn't matter. It's not even thought about. It's all about the man's pleasure, and it's doing such a disservice to women and young girls. I agree. But they're getting backlash now, saying that's from other people. But everyone's always got.
It depends on the type of porn you're watching.
I was to say they're watching the wrong porn.
Not that I, as a good Christian boy, watch porn, but it completely depends. There's porn that's made specifically geared toward women. There's porn made for everything. Anything you can think of, there is a porn that exists for it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Kristen Stewart, of course, you know her from the Twilight movies, has gotten engaged to screenwriter Dylan Meyer. She says, we're marrying. It's happening. The Spencer actress, she played Diana, of course, last. She's 31. And I'm not sure how old this Dylan Meyer is. By the way, they're both girls. Dylan could be either a boy or a girl name. So I'm just letting you guys know, if you don't know who Dylan Meyer is, she's getting married to a chick. Not that it matters. I'm just letting you know for just for the record.
Cool.
Caitlyn Jenner claims O.J. Simpson once told Nicole Brown, "I'll kill you and get away with it," before the murders.
And why did Caitlyn wait until now?
Right? Why did tell that to the police?
Why did Caitlyn not come through like when it happened and like go to the cops and be
I
like,
could've-
hey, this could have cracked the case right there.
Might have had to say that on the stand.
She said, obviously he did, and he got away with it. And at one point, he even told Nicole, I'll kill you and get away with it because I'm O.J. Simpson. And he said, then Nicole, relayed that onto Chris at one point, Kris Jenner. And unfortunately, she was right.
I thought the glove didn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah.
What movie was it where OJ was supposed to get cast, but he didn't get cast because they thought he wouldn't be believable as a killer? This is like way before all that.
Oh, really?
There's a movie where, he was up for a role.
I bet they're really kicking themselves now.
I know, he'd have been perfect. Let's see. Jennifer, this was cool. Jennifer Garner, who of course has kids with Ben Affleck, and that's her ex. Well, now during trick-or-treating at Halloween, Jennifer Garner joined Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez while the kids were trick-or-treating in Malibu. So that's good. You got to be able to have a good relationship with your exes, so it's not weird for your kids. Let's see what else. Let me see. Jamie Spears requested to end conservatorship a week after Britney's lawyer told him to turn over 13 years worth of documents, according to new court documents. So,
what do you request?
Let this girl go.
Well,
Financial.
I know. But you said Jamie Spears requested something. You weren't exactly clear.
And the conservatorship.
So we want records. But no, I'm good. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm out.
Wash my hands.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's not suspicious.
Yeah, right. And there you go. There's that. Let's see. Mayor Wade, congratulations to my buddy Mayor Wade. He beat Cardi yesterday in the election.
No. You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed. You were Cardi 100%. You wanted Cardi to win. You're not allowed to pretend and rewrite history and be like, oh yeah, my buddy Wade.
I said, matter of fact, what I said was that Cardi should be the king and Wade should be the mayor, because Cardi would be like, if Wade was smart, he would bring Cardi into the administration. He should do the grand, like nobody loves Toledo more than Cardi. He should be out at the grand opening.
Ridiculous way of showing it by leaving us massively in debt, but at least he put flowers on Reynolds.
He's not gonna do that.
No.
I mean, he did it. He literally did it.
I googled it. Do you guys want to know what movie it was?
Yes.
That OJ was up the role he was up to play, but the director didn't think he'd be convincing as a killer. The Terminator.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow! No,
Arnold was originally going to play the good guy, Kyle Reese,
wasn't he?
And
yeah,
they wanted
the
someone big and bad.
Terminator.
The original, yeah.
Oh wow! All right, let's get into it. Tifo's got the WTF news. Ebenezer Bushrod, go ahead, Ebenezer.
All right. Well, back in November of 1963 in Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, the event that took place that shocked the world when JFK was assassinated while driving through on a political tour. And so now, 58 years later, QAnon supporters have gathered in Dealey Plaza yesterday in anticipation for JFK's son to announce his 2024 presidential run, despite the fact that it's been 22 years since he died in a plane crash. That's right. QAnon supporters believe that JFK Jr. is not dead. And not only is he not dead, but he was going to announce a run with Trump for president in 2024. They were wearing Trump Kennedy shirts, and they had gathered by the dozens to see this historic announcement that for some reason they thought the still alive JFK Jr. would do at the site of his father's assassination.
All right. See, that's where QAnon loses me.
Oh, that's where?
This is where.
Oh, geez.
The line.
Let's say I buy it. That JFK Jr. is still alive.
Uh-huh.
Let's say I buy it that he's been hiding out all this time. And let's say I buy it that he's going to run with Trump. He's not going to pick the site of his father's death to announce it. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
way. That's terrible, sad memories.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Is I
nice try, QAnon.
right? And they apparently they got a lot of people to believe it enough that they actually showed up to do it.
I'm going to keep this to just 60 seconds because I know we tried to stay within politics stuff, but
yeah,
I got to tell you, if a new presidential election were held today, Donald Trump would be president again. It's amazing to me how many people have been brainwashed by this. Like, there's only a few places now where you're going to get sane people. Thank God we're going to continue to be sane, I think. But like they don't remember. There's too many people now that don't remember. Look, there's a hardcore rural out in the rural areas Republicans, and there's hardcore Democrats in the cities. But these swing voters now are going back to the Trumpers, going back to be Trumpers, and I've seen it here in the suburbs here in Perrysburg. They miss the guy. They miss him. like, dude, I can't. It's the craziness. And this isn't the Republicans are so much better at social media and messaging, and even though they're lying about most of the stuff, it doesn't matter. They're better at doing it, and because they're having other governments, Chinese are involved, the Russia, everyone's involved in destroying this country because they love the fact that they monitor what we're pissed off about, what we're fighting about, what the two sides are fighting about, and they echo it and they make it bigger, and that's
over 60 seconds.
All right, it's a sad state that we're in.
Chris.
Well,
go ahead, Donnie. Donnie wants to say something, then we'll move on.
I didn't even know. I was just tagging on to. I don't even know what I was going to say. I got my fingers crossed for the future.
I know, right? Go ahead, Chris.
All right. Well, I owe the Sundance Kid Drive-In an apology, and I want to make this public.
What have you done?
This year, for the first time ever, they held a haunted house, and I took my nephew to it. And for the limited space they had, and they have a lot of room for improvement and adding on to it in the future if they decide to continue to do it, it was really good. My nephew enjoyed himself, but the last scare that you had when I went through was a guy in a mask with a leaf blower. Now, I found this a little bit ridiculous. My 10-year-old nephew decided to come up with his own headcanon with it, saying how it actually sucked you in and it had teeth inside and it all that stuff. And that's what he did in his own headcanon to justify some kid standing there in a mask with a leaf blower as the last scare at the Sundance Kid Drive-In. And I criticized it. I said that was ridiculous. It's not scary. Why would you even do that? And then I saw Dateline, Looneyville, West Virginia. Right now, Andrew Franklin Bush, 26, is facing malicious assault and second-degree murder charges for killing another man in an argument over a pig using a leaf blower.
What?
The gentlemen were trying to get a pig up into a truck bed. The cage broke apart and the pig fell to the ground. The men got into a heated argument about whose fault this was. And at one point during the argument, Andrew Franklin picked up a leaf blower and hit the other man over the head. Nice and hard. When police arrived, the man was in the truck bed dead, and witnesses fingered Andrew as the culprit.
Well, see, here's the thing. That's kind of going around the rules because you didn't really use a leaf blower to kill somebody.
Right.
Like you could have used any blunt object. It just happened to be a leaf blower. It wasn't that he killed him with a leaf blower. If you can't suck someone's guts out or suck their brains out or suck something out to kill them, then it's not really, you really can't kill someone with a leaf blower.
Right. However, going back to the Halloween story, sorry. I mean, that's terrible. Sorry for that guy's death, but your original story was way more interesting than the pig death. When you said you weren't convinced that that's scary, you've obviously never chased someone with a leaf blower, and I have, and I will tell you why it's terrifying because, like, you're far enough away from them they can't stop you, but they also don't like the wind that's blowing against them. There's like a weird level of nuisance about it.
Like, oh no, air. Directed air.
Well, they get very angry. It's like it's one of those like I shouldn't be this angry about the discomfort that I'm having, but I can't stop it. So it's like being tickled, actually. Like, you ever been tickled and you just like, some people think it's funny. I get like angry because I can't. I'm very ticklish, so I like flail. People could get hurt and I don't mean to. So it's similar to that. Like,
so Colleen's oldest daughter, Mallory, she calls it to hurt. It's a tickle, but it hurts. Like because she hates being tickled. So stop to hurting me.
Yeah,
because it's not tickle. It's not funny. It hurts, or it doesn't really. Like you said, it's a nuisance.
It's a nuisance. Yeah. So leaf blower is the same way. It's like wind, direct wind. You can't stop it because they come after you, and you just stay 5 feet away from them, and you're like, oh, you don't like it? Here's a little bit more. Oh, how's some to the face?
What if they put nails? What if they put nails in it too? They put nails in and they start blowing at you. And you're like,
nails are too hard. We did shoot a bottle cap out of it. I'm not gonna suggest that because it did get a little dangerous. My 9-year-old shot a plastic bottle cap out of the leaf blower at Ashley.
We do have our story out of Texas. Took place on Halloween. You guys know Jeff Banks, right? The special teams coordinator for the Longhorns. He left his wife for a stripper named Gia, who goes by the stage name Pole Assassin. And in her act, she incorporates her pet monkey. So she has a nice little pet monkey. But this Halloween, kids were coming to their door, trick-or-treating. Everybody was having a good time, except for the monkey, who allegedly attacked a group of trick-or-treaters and even bit one of them.
Oh my gosh!
So that is pretty much the story right there. He had a pet monkey. He left his wife for the stripper, and the stripper's pet monkey attacked a bunch of trick-or-treaters and bit one of them.
I've always there was a lady online. I showed the kids this when we were at Cedar Point this weekend because I'm on my phone, the Facebook or whatever. And I saw this. There's a lady that found an abandoned alligator, and it's not a small alligator like the size of a lizard, but a real life 5 foot alligator. And she would carry it around and hug it, like she'd hold it like a baby, like carry it from room to room, and she would give it a kiss and stuff. I'm like, no, and neighbors are like calling on her calling like authorities because she's got a pet alligator that she found and she's been raising. Stop with this shit. You can't.
When you say abandoned, you mean like a wild alligator or like
the wild alligator
had a home?
No,
it lost its home.
No,
it was left behind.
It's not
like a rest stop.
Like you can't like go out into the wild and find a wolf and go, oh, this wolf has been abandoned. I'm going to take it in. No, it was never domesticated in the first place.
People, you got to find the story of the lady that took in the alligators.
Like, for example, if she found it and it's got a leash on it, a leash, but there's no one on the other end. That's an abandoned alligator.
If it's been chipped,
got an address on it,
we're good.
But the phone number was rubbed off, so she couldn't call.
So, Tivo, please find this alligator story.
Did she put signs up? Missing alligator. Like, if you don't feel the need to be like, found alligator, come claim your alligator. You're not saving an abandoned alligator. You just kidnapped an alligator from its habitat.
I didn't read the whole story. I just saw the video of her holding the alligator like a baby and kissing the alligator. But my point is, at some point, they're going to revert back to what they know. Like, gatoring. You can't take millions of years of biology and change it because you give it a hug. It doesn't just change that. I don't know. You can't have like people have pet tigers, okay? Like a pet tiger, you're like riding it and you're swimming with it and doing all that stuff. And then all of a sudden what happens is you're cutting its dinner, like you're making dinner, and you actually prick your finger. And then all of a sudden it's gonna taste that blood, and then it's gonna bite your head off. Eventually it's gonna revert back to what it knows.
At some point, a gator's gonna gator, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's what Gina said. Gator's gonna gate at some point.
Yes, exactly.
I can't, dude. I can't. Wait, hold on. Lady adopts.
Well, I got my last story, and I gotta get out of here. And I'm actually disappointed that Demetrius isn't here because he would have a heyday with this story.
Wait, Tifo, can you put this up if I give it to you? Put this story up.
I mean, you can put it up.
How do I do it?
You hit the share button at the bottom of the screen and choose what you want to share.
Oh, I've got a YouTube. Well, I don't even know. What did you just say?
I don't have a share button.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Hold on, Tifo. I'm gonna send this to you.
I don't.
Oh, there it is.
Dude, you already know I got to get out of here.
I just sent it to you real quick. You got to see this lady baby in this fucking alligator. Did you get it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Here
I don't see how you're incapable of sharing this.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
I didn't do audio though.
Okay, it's all you don't need. You don't need audio. So now, right now, she's feeding the alligator. She's playing with it like it's a baby. She's got a costume on or some kind of fucking vest.
She's got a jacket on.
She's kissing it. Look,
she's got to keep it warm.
Look at the big ass alligator.
Situated. This is called right here, teeth.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, just put your finger in his mouth. Do it.
Yeah, she's putting her finger in his mouth. She's opening his mouth.
But
there's no way that at some point there's no way at some point this alligator does not bite her fucking face off. It's not even possible for at some point it happens. Look, she's kissing the alligator on the snout.
Stop kissing your gator.
I can't, dude. What is wrong?
Look at his bottom foot. You see his little bottom foot just resting on her thigh? Back it up real quick. Look at his little leg there. Aww. Now I see it. Aww. Little foot.
At some point, she's
holding his little foot.
At some point, she's gonna think that it's like her boyfriend or something. It's gonna happen because alligators live like 150 years or something. And so she's gonna be old and have this guy. It's like, oh fuck. I mean, I might as well. I've been with this alligator for 3 decades. We might as well do it. I don't know. I can't.
Florida.
I know. Florida. All right. Gate is going to gate. Go ahead, Tifa. Last story.
Last story. And like I said, I'm disappointed Demetrius isn't here because he would have a field day with this. YouTube stars Chad and JT decided they had had enough, and they held a rally downtown Los Angeles recently that they called the Small Dong March. In celebration and aimed at ending the stigma and shame around having a small penis. That's right. They had dozens of people show up to this march, which included some women, not many, to celebrate the smaller penis. On there, they paraded through the streets, chanting in unison and waving amusing signs with slogans like "In solidarity with shrimp dicks," "Keep small and carry dong," and the simplistic "small dongs are dank." On there, demonstrators were chanting "Motion of the Ocean," as well as they were marching through the streets.
Yeah,
they're proud of their small dicks. They want the world to know,
yes,
and they want people to stop criticizing them.
Well, that's what they say. It's not the size of the dog in the fight; it's the size of the dong on the dog. Oh wait, no, the fight.
What? The dong on the alligator.
We're here. We're micro get used to it.
Gina says, I know so many people that could go. I could probably organize my own parade locally. Oh shit! I can't.
Send them email invitations.
I mean, okay,
email invites.
I get that it's genetic. There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
You know, the size of your dong is the size of your dong, and it's what you have. It's what you're with. I get that. But I don't need you marching down the streets of downtown Los Angeles just telling everyone.
Well, and there is something you can do too. They say for every 25 pounds you lose, you add an inch to your dong.
Yeah,
I can attest that is not correct.
Really?
I have lost.
Prove it.
Since I from my fattest to what I am now, I have lost 130-ish pounds.
And it's still little? Man.
I
mean, have you measured though every single 25
I didn't say anything
pounds?
about it being little. I just said I haven't noticed any sort of increase.
Well, like Andrew said earlier in the show, when the change is incremental, you don't notice it.
Right.
But if you measure 100 pounds ago and now, and you got 3 extra inches, you're like, all right.
Hey, one last thing before we go. I don't follow the internets. I don't follow the webs. I don't follow any of that.
That's the man that lives on the internet.
I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't follow I don't follow what everyone else is.
All right, I got to go, guys.
What?
Have a good one. I told you I have to go right around now.
All right. Well then, this Island Boy thing. You follow this Island Boys?
What's Island?
Oh,
what? What's Island Boys? Is it a band? What's going on?
Before we go, when we get off, you got to look up Island Boys. It's these 2 white kids from Florida, and it's all over the internet. And I just want to know. I wanted to know how far behind I was because I just discovered this like yesterday or day before. But it's all. I mean, you can't go anywhere on the internet without Island Boys. And I just want to know how behind the times I was. Like it's been around for a month. It's been around for. Did I catch it at the beginning? It's only been around for 2 days. There's no way because it's all over the internet. This had to be.
Well, I will tell you that I spent a lot of time on the internet, and I've never heard of the Island Boys.
Really?
Sometimes you just got to get turned on to something.
Did you just search it?
I'm an Island Boy. There's all kinds of videos. They got a bunch.
I know.
Like most of them from
It's all from the same thing though. It's all started. All these are spurred. They're all cousins of the original one, Island Boys. So do yourself a favor. It is kind of funny. Search Island Boys anywhere you go on the internet and learn. So the story is these 2 guys were freestyling. These 2 white kids were freestyling in a jacuzzi. And then it just blew up the internet. And I just want to know how far behind I was, but I guess we can't. You don't know because you're behind on it as well. But
well, so I'm telling you, you're not far behind though. Okay. Because all right, here they are.
We could both be far behind though.
Well, here I'll see. This video was posted October 21st.
So yeah, okay. So 2 weeks.
A little bit.
Sounds about right. I figured I was about 2. I'm about 2 weeks behind.
Oh no, wait. This is before they were famous. That was okay. So I'll do some research, Andrew, and I'll see.
Yes. You'll have fun with it, Donnie, because there's a bunch of parodies and stuff of Island Boys. Just all you gotta do is search Island Boys, and you'll figure out what I'm talking about. It's not even
great hair.
All right. Thank you, Donnie. Donnie, if you need a car, go see Donnie P. If you need insurance, by the way, Demetrius texted me. He said he woke up late, so he'll be back with us next week. If you need insurance, hit up Demetrius. He's the insurance guy. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Have a great week, you guys. Bye, everybody. Bye.